Naomi, I know you're trying to get out of here, but real quick, congratulations. Your first match back on SmackDown in 2 years. New entrants, new music, and you qualify for the Elimination Chamber. What message do you have to all the women who are going to be inside that chamber with you?
Sexy. Everything I got to say, I'm going to say it in the Elimination Chamber. I'm headed to Paris, baby. The glow is global. Let's go.
Congratulations, Naomi. It's always a pleasure to be joined by Bobby Lashley, the Street Profits, and B-Fab. And guys, you had a chance to do some tape study tonight, as no doubt you were keeping your eyes on the Authors of Pain, who had their first match back since returning to WWE tonight, and won in dominant fashion. Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins, considering that you will face AOP next week, what were your takeaways from tonight?
Byron. We don't care anything about them beating Byron and Kyron, Jalen and Waylon, because next week they're in the ring with the Street Profits, a real tag team.
The greatest tag team of all time. And no, we're not talking about the ones. We're specifically talking about the Street Profits. Hell, they went out there and had a great showing, dogs. I mean, we would have a great showing, too, if we had a 4-year break, if we was at home resting and recuperating. But the only thing they really graduate themselves to is a first-class ASS whooping. See, I kept it PG because we're pretty good.
With the dollar sign.
Courtesy of the Street Profits. You know, by returning, you need to get made an example. And they're the perfect example to be made of.
Straight up, the scouting report said, they ain't us. We gonna be ready next week.
They're ready. Let's go, guys.
We will find out if the Street Profits will be ready. Standing by with LA Knight in LA, we know your focus is a week from today at Elimination Chamber. However, the night before Elimination Chamber, you have one more bump in the road as you take on one of your chamber opponents, Drew McIntyre. What can we expect from you?
I tell you what you can expect from me. You ain't got to say another word. Let me talk to you. Here's the thing. Yeah, Elimination Chamber's coming up in just a little bit. And you got to think to yourself, well, why would you get yourself into a match just 24 hours before? And I got to tell you, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me either, but I tell you like this. Drew McIntyre, what you did is you sealed your fate, because now we walk into Elimination Chamber just one day later. My guy, if you got a little bit of a limp on you, if you got a little bit of a, maybe you're holding your head just a little bit going into Elimination Chamber, that's okay with me, because just like I said, that tombstone's got enough space on it for old DM Hunk to show up on there, and we can get your aspirations buried just the same, because you ain't going to WrestleMania. I'll tell you who's going to WrestleMania. There's one man to face the World Heavyweight Champion, and you are looking at him. So while you talk about my focus being on an Elimination Chamber, my focus is even further beyond that, because you got to think steps ahead. I'm looking at WrestleMania. Huh? Yeah, I said I'm looking at WrestleMania. You got a problem with that? No, you don't, because here's the thing. We get to WrestleMania, I'll walk in number one contender. I'll walk out the champion, because there can be no other way, and that's not an insult. That is just a fact of life, because whose game is it? You know, they know, everybody knows what everybody's saying. L.A. Knight. Huh? Yeah.
LA Knight playing the long game. Megan, Scott, back to you guys.